Welcome and thank you for joining us today for this webinar that will be led by Ján Marcin, Chief Operations Officer at Inalogy, our silver partner from Slovakia. Inalogy specializes in delivering innovative solutions in identity management, access management, and privileged access management, helping organizations protect their critical digital assets. And their expertise primarily serves customers in the education, telecommunications, and financial sectors, and they deliver services mainly in Slovakia and Czech Republic. Ján plays a key role in overseeing company operations and managing major customers' deliveries. And with his extensive experience in project management for large IAM projects, he also has earned a place in Evolveum's Hall of Fame as a feature test master. Today, Ján will share his insights on using Keycloak as an access layer during this webinar. And now I would like to hand the floor over to him. Thank you.
Thank you, Simona, for the warm introduction. And okay, I will start the presentation now. I would like to start a bit broader, a bit theoretically, and maybe to do some explanation on the most commonly used tasks or abbreviations in identity and access management. Let's start with the IDM, which is abbreviation for identity management, which is focusing on the lifecycle management and data orchestration. And by this, we can imagine the module which is responsible for identity lifecycle management, password management, managing policies and defining these policies, managing and providing functionality for requesting access and approving accesses, and data synchronization, which basically means that identity management systems are pretty good in integrating to other platforms and exchanged modified or some pre-calculated data with other systems. Identity governance and administration is a buzzword lately, and basically this is an extension on the identity management systems, which provide some level of overview about data and about what is happening in the identity management system. It can start with identity analysis by some static analysis if something is not suspicious about the identities and its accesses, the recertification of the accesses, role governance, for example, role mining. Also, it helps enforce segregation of duties. And last but not least, it provides audit and compliance audit capabilities and helps to fulfill the compliance requirements. Access management is authentication layer, which provides functionality or like integration possibilities to modern applications that use standardized authentication protocols. And thanks to them, access management provides central authentication layer. Also eases users with signing in thanks to single sign-on capability. It provides possibilities to manage clients and services that can authenticate towards this layer. Improves security thanks to multi-factor authentication, and also is integration with identity federation. That means you can connect with other IDP providers directly without any super intensive integration. When you mixed all this together, it brings us identity and access management, which is AIM. It like oversees all of these concepts, and that's what basically our company, Inalogy, wanted to start deliver from the very beginning. And we naturally started with MidPoint many years ago, and also with Keycloak. And we wanted to provide a solution which will provide all of these mentioned capabilities and allows us to deliver a solution which can fulfill all necessary needs when it comes to integration of identity and access management in the company's infrastructure. As you can see in the picture, the heart of the solution is MidPoint, which is IDM and identity governance and administration tool that orchestrates all the data from the source systems like HR and manage and distribute the data to the legacy system directly or to the identity directories like MS Active Directory or LDAP, let's say in this case. LDAPs and Active Directory provide possibilities to authenticate directly for some applications, but we needed and we wanted to have access management layer which provides standardized protocols to easy integration and authentication towards the solution via SAML, OIDC, or OAuth protocols, and that's why we needed it, and yeah, we chose Keycloak to do that. Why there is a need for access layer? The first and very important solution is to improve security by isolating the authentication layer from the identity management, because we think that identity management system is critical infrastructure and it should be hidden in the internal network. It shouldn't be exposed to the internet. Yes, of course, you can change your password via MidPoint. It has the tools, but we think that you shouldn't be able to reach MidPoint unless you are already authenticated that you are the user who should be eligible to access MidPoint. That's why separating authentication layer into the Keycloak improves security. The other thing related to that is Keycloak is designed to provide advanced safety mechanism like multi-factor authentication and some brute force preventions and other stuff that ensures that it's you who is trying to log in. Also, it provides single sign-on capabilities which help users to navigate through applications in the ecosystems. It makes the life easier within the organization. Delegated authentication, as I said, it provides multiple third-party IDPs that you can use to log in, and there's multiple options you can reach for when you're searching for access management. Keycloak from the commercial one, the big ones are Microsoft Entra and Okta, and in our region also CAS is pretty spread, and there's many more, countless possibilities. Why Keycloak? First of all, it's open source, and our EM solution is built upon the open source modules. As you can see, MidPoint is open source IGA module, and Keycloak provides the authentication access management layer, also open source. In the days we choose Keycloak, it was developed under the Red Hat. It was moved recently under Cloud Native Computing Foundation. MidPoint has very customizable UI, which is really helpful when you try to deliver a solution that fits into the organization's environment visually, and and you can customize themes. You can use native themes, or there are also third-party modules or companies that provide other ways how to customize Keycloak with some ready-made themes. It's really easy and easy to use, and with good results. And secondary, it allows localizations which are built automatically in. Keycloak is really customizable not only from the UI perspective, but also in defining flows, some processes, and you can also extend or expand screens in account console, so management for the user, and also in admin consoles via extension modules. which are basically plug and play, and they are not impacting core code of the system. It supports all standardized protocols, OAuth, OpenID Connect, and SAML2. So you shouldn't have any problem with integrating modern systems. Every cloud service has this ready to be integrated. And also, as I mentioned, identity brokering, third-party IDPs, Microsoft, Google, Apple, plenty of third-party IDPs. I just mentioned some the biggest ones. And also, it is possible to integrate with your custom IDP who is supporting the mentioned protocols. This is especially useful when we're talking corporate environment. If you have some, I don't know, third-party contractors or partners, and you want them to have access to your infrastructure or to your systems, you just allow, if they use Microsoft or Google Workspace, you just can provide them possibility to log in with their password. So they don't need to register in your system. And it should ease the operation, and you can have full control of who you let into your system. Yeah, and last but not least, Keycloak provides all the multi-factor possibilities, like OTPs, web out, login via certificates, some physical keys like YubiKeys, and lately passkeys functionality was added to the Keycloak. It also provides push notifications, which are with asterisks, and I will show you in a while why is that. Keycloak also helps protect the environment via advanced defense mechanisms. As I said a bit earlier, brute force detection. There are multiple settings how to set brute force detection. So the attacker will be locked out after some defined numbers of attempts, and yeah, you can prolong the time. You can set lock permanently if it's violated, and so on. So pretty customizable. And also it provides all the standardized security headers to have your application safe on the internet. MidPoint configuration of the OIDC client in Keycloak is pretty straightforward. This is an example how it look like to create a client in Keycloak that will provide OIDC authentication for MidPoint. You just select that you want to integrate OpenID Connect client. You enter the name. Then you just click that you want to allow this client to authenticate. This is preset. And in the last step, in the login settings, you just enter the URL, the home URL, redirect URIs, is where you allow Keycloak to redirect after login. And valid post logout redirects URIs and web origins are set with plus sign. This plus sign just meant that it should take the value from the home URL or redirect URI. I don't know, but one of these, yeah, it's in the question mark sign described. Once you create the client, you click save. It will generate client secret. Then you will copy your client secret, and the second part of the configuration is setting authentication in MidPoint. It is done in security policy, flexible authentication, and you will add the OIDC module where you set the client ID and the value of the key that was generated, and also issuer URI, and also that should be it. This screenshot is taken from the MidPoint documentation. You can find it on the attached link. Same as this OIDC, you can make this integration via SAML. I believe there are also samples in documentation, so it is not limited to only OIDC Connect. The integration between MidPoint and Keycloak from the data perspective, like user data and assignment data and groups and so on, can be done in, let's say, 3 ways. The first one is by using a Keycloak connector, which was contributed by NRI. Thank you for that. Which can be used to direct provisioning of the users and assigning Keycloak roles directly according to the assignment from MidPoints. And if you want to have it a bit easier, you can use native LDAP federation if there is an LDAP present in your environment. And Keycloak support native federation to LDAP, to Active Directory, and it will assign KC roles based on the group assignments in the LDAP. This is pretty straightforward integration. Yeah, we use both ways. It depends which is more suitable for the needs of the customer. And also you can use the third-party identity providers like Entra ID. It's similar to LDAP federation. Inbound, we need for the passwords. As mentioned on the first or second slide, we don't want to let people into MidPoint until they authenticate it. That's why we delivered a provisioning extension, password provisioning extension to provision password from Keycloak to MidPoint. In the case that you are only using modern applications within your infrastructure that can be authenticated via SAML or OpenID Connect directly to Keycloak, this is not something that you need. But in organization with legacy systems that do not provide a possibility to authenticate via these protocols, and you can only authenticate directly in these applications, you need the password. That's why we built this password provision extension. So when you reset your password or change your password on the Keycloak, you need to have password also in MidPoint. So MidPoint can distribute this password in this system that you authenticate directly. And that is basically to fulfill the use cases of password change when you forget your password or when you recover your account. So this is some extra integration that we did for the need of the concept of our EIM solution. Okay, one more slide about the Keycloak customization. As I mentioned, it's pretty good customizable. This, what you can see on the slide, is the login screen of our client World Scout movement. And this is the largest Keycloak deployment that we did. There are almost 900,000 identities. Around half of them are active. So pretty big instance. And as you can see, the screen was completely redesigned for the need of the scouts, also provides for IDPs, third-party IDPs for social logins. And yes, there are also custom email templates, so you can design and make custom emails that will match your corporate design or corporate design of your clients. The templates are managed in Apache FreeMaker framework. And yeah, also one more mention on the extensions that if you need something more, some more data be processed by the screens, like, I don't know, for example, you want to have the date of birth on the login screen or on the registration screen, you can just write an extension and it can extend the schema and gather the data from the screens. Now, to the push notifications, which are basically as well an extension in the Keycloak. If I'm not wrong, there is no open source access management system that will provide push notifications. Push notifications are pretty common from Microsoft service, who has these push notifications on their authenticator, and also for banking applications that provide it. And we, with our AM system, we wanted to be on pair with the commercial system. Also, Okta has a good solution for this. And we were searching for the solution and there was none. So we decided to make our own. The push notification is basically copying the capabilities of Microsoft Authenticator. It provides push notifications for the on-prem instances of your access management. So you can have on-prem deployment of the Keycloak in your infrastructure, and you still can have push notifications to your mobile device, which is basically registered in the internet. It supports a different level of security. For example, this one is write the number or just approving the pop-up message, or to choose from the free numbers. I believe you're familiar from the other services with this. This authenticator of ours is available for free for Android in Play Store and also for Apple in App Store. What is under the hood of this solution? Firstly, mention Keycloak extension. Thanks to Keycloak extension, in Keycloak there are easily definable authentication flows. You can see in this screenshot that this is authentication flow for our demo environment. So basically, login screen requires username and password, and there is a condition. And if a user have user role that force him to have push notification or the second factor, it will trigger the push notification extension and force him to set up push notifications or authenticate if he already has it set it up. It will not work without the IMS, which is abbreviation for Inalogy Messaging Service, and this is where all the magic happens. Basically, once you trigger the push notification, the message from Keycloak is sent to the IMS. IMS has the information about your tenant and about the registered device with the second factor, and it pushes these messages toward the authenticator. Once you submit the response from the authenticator, your mobile will directly call the Keycloak, not the Keycloak extension, but I believe some default Keycloak services which are exposed to the internet. There are like 4 or 5 services which you have to have exposed to the internet to make this work. So not all Keycloak, these services are not admin APIs, so they cannot be used to, I don't know, exploit some data or something like that, or compromise Keycloak. And the last thing already mentioned, Inalogy Authenticator application that is in your hands. Finally, I would like to show you a demonstration on the capabilities that I was talking about. I would like to show you the password change via the password provisioning extension. Then how can you use the role-driven multi-factor authentication in MidPoint, and also how this MFA works. All right. Okay, here is my mobile phone on the right, and here is some dashboard for our demo environment. Okay, let me go to MidPoint. I will log in as administrator, and I will select some random user. Let's say Martin. Let's say Eva Martin. Good. All right, log out. And now I will try to log into MidPoint via SSO. So Eva Martin. All the users have same password for the ease of the demonstration. You can see that I logged into MidPoint without any second factor or something like that. But I'm going to change that now. I will log in again as administrator. And let me search for the Eva Martin again. And I will say that she is really, really important user with really, really and I need to have her secure. So I will search for the Keycloak permissions roles that will enforce her to the Keycloak user will grant her access to the Keycloak, and Keycloak push will enforce her to have a second factor, and that the push notifications will be sent to her. Okay, so save. Now I will log out again, and let's try the login with Ava again. So now you can see that in the same flow, I was requested to set up authenticator. So I will open the authenticator application, and I'm going to scan the QR code, which I was successful at. And now I will submit it. And I am authenticated. Now, when I try to repeat that, as you can see, I need to enter the number in the notification appeared. I could close the application. You would see that the notification will pop up, but I need to enter the code, and on submit, I'm automatically authenticated into the application I wanted. Even I authenticate in the MidPoint, you can see that the authentication were done via the Keycloak. Yeah. And also, the MidPoint doesn't even know the password of this user because the passwords are in the LDAP, and Keycloak is authenticating the passwords against the LDAP. So, and I will show you now. I will log in into Keycloak. Okay. Submit. I will close this. Next time you will see the notification. And now I will go to sign in, and I will change my password. Submit. All right, my password was changed, and sign out. Now I will go to MidPoint. Yes, first let's say this way. You can see here the request authentication. I will tap the notification, and here is the second factor, submit. All right, I'm in. So the change of the password was working. You cannot say, but believe me. And I want to log in one more time as an administrator into MidPoint and show you how it looks when the password is changed via the Keycloak. I will search for Ava. Okay, and here in the history, you can see that via REST there was a change, and when I click here, you can see that password was created. That means that, as I said, the password was not even present in the MidPoint. The authentication were done via LDAP. And now, when the password was changed in the Keycloak, it was provisioned to MidPoint, and MidPoint did the change in the LDAP. So next time after the password change, I was authenticated. The password was already changed in LDAP by MidPoint. And I believe that this is what I wanted to show you in this demo. Yes, and maybe one more word about the role-driven MFA. As you can saw that I added this Keycloak push and role directly to the user but you can assign this role as inducement or assignment in some business roles that are critical and that grant access to some critical resources. So it's fully dynamic, and you can configure this policy of enforcing multi-factor authentication according your business needs. And that is all from my side.